I am writing this letter to document my declaration as a conscientious objector and to ask your support in doing so. Becoming a conscientious objector has been a pressing issue for me because I recently turned 18 and had to register with Selective Service. I have been attending the Chapel Hill Friends meeting since birth and was raised with Quaker values of nonviolence. I'm opposed to war in all forms. I do not support any war for any reason. I believe there is the light of God in every human being. Therefore, all humans share a spiritual connection no matter what race, gender, or any other classification they happen to be. Harming another human being not only hurts the victim, it harms the perpetrator as well. Since all people are spiritually connected, it is unnatural and emotionally traumatic to the perpetrator to hurt someone else. I know personally that when I get really angry and mentally wish to harm someone else, very quickly afterwards I reassess the situation and feel sick for ever wishing to harm someone else. To be put into a position where I was ordered to kill another human being would be a violation to my soul and everything I believe in. I do not feel that I could serve the military in either combatant or non-combatant role because even if I wasn't directly killing people, I would be helping other people kill people. These are my own personal beliefs, and I respect other individuals' rights to choose whether or not to participate in the war effort. However, I myself do not ever wish to aid any war and will not participate in a war in any supportive role.
Although I firmly believe that the truth will continue to reveal itself to me, I can state now and with clarity my current beliefs. I disdain and refuse to personally participate in war of any form. This conviction was founded on the religious instruction and training I have received during my short life. The community of the meeting houses in Durham and here in Chapel Hill, along with Carolina Friends School, have taught me to appreciate and foster peace in every act I perform. I learned a respect for all human life, and that we are all connected to the bond of God in each and every one of us. I sincerely feel that I do not have the right, God-given or otherwise, to take the life of another human being.
I have a deep, firm, and fixed belief against the personal participation in war in any form. I do believe that there is that of God in everyone, and therefore killing another human being is considered murdering something divine. Any institution that supports war and the violation of this principle or is involved in it directly or indirectly in any way is against my beliefs. This conviction is based upon my moral, ethical, and religious training and beliefs. From the age of 3 to the age of 15, I attended Carolina Friends School, a Quaker school in my community. I was raised pacifist and taught Quaker principles in this environment as well as others. My father is a Quaker, and I've attended the Religious Society of Friends Quaker meeting in Chapel Hill, North Carolina my entire life. Through many experiences and teachings, I have come to consider myself a Quaker and an integral part of the meeting. I sincerely feel that I was not raised to harm others and that no person has the right to take another person's life. I am not a violent person and try to surround myself with people who are open-minded and tolerant, and I seek solutions that respect the rights of all others. I want to lead my life answering that of God and everyone.
I can imagine what it would be like to fight in a war. What it would be like to be ordered to shoot at another person. How helpless would it feel to know that I was responsible for someone's death? How could I fight in a war? I value human life. I'm amazed by the compassion humans can show. I'm fascinated by the curiosity and wonder with which we explore the world. I'm proud of what humans can create, invent, and imagine. My moral framework is centered around my value of human life. I believe that by nurturing others, one can create a mutually beneficial future. How can I destroy the lives of humans when they give me meaning? How could I fight in a war? I could not participate in a war of any kind. I love life too much. Not just my life, but human life in general. My conscience will not allow me to participate in a war. My parents and the environment I grew up in played a large role in forming my views. Many of the folk songs we sang when I was a child had messages of peace. I remember the day before my 7th birthday, was also the day the U.S. went to war in Iraq. My mom and I went to a peace vigil and sang, "Every man 'neath his vine and fig tree shall live in peace and unafraid."
Whenever the idea of war would come up, I always knew where I stood. I've been raised a pacifist through the ideas and morals I was taught since birth. This moral belief comes from my belief that there is that of God in everyone. And believing in God, I believe that he or she has put him or herself in everyone because every person is of divine presence. Therefore, killing any other human being is murdering a beautiful creation of God. God gave men and women life, and only his or her hands can take it away without the help from any violent act.
I'm opposed to war based on my faith as a Quaker. I attend Chapel Hill Monthly Meeting and belong to several meeting associations, including Southern Appalachian Young Friends, and through them, Southern Appalachian Yearly Meeting and Association. Quaker meetings throughout history have opposed war based on spiritual beliefs. Consistent with these well-accepted Quaker beliefs, I believe every human being has an inner light or piece of the divine in them. This is what creates goodness in every human being. Some choose to display this openly in their person, and some choose to hide it. I feel that killing somebody is a horrible act because in doing so you are killing both part of yourself and part of the divine in the other person. In the words of former President James Earl Carter, though may be the lesser of two evils, no matter how you look at it, war is evil. War and killing are evil, and there is no greater evil than to deprive somebody of their life forcefully, or forcefully to take a loved one from their family forever through violence.
In light of our approaching 18th birthday, my male peers have been required by law to fill out a Selective Service form, and many will consider conscientious objection. Although I am female and am not required to do either, I am interested in doing so to take a stand for male and females alike. I write this letter to show through my faith and personal mind that I have no wish to see myself or others of my generation engaging in any conflict simply because my country calls it my patriotic duty. Saying this, I would like to explain why. Since my father met my stepmother Robin, my sister, my father, and I attended her place of worship. I think I was about 6. This was the Society of Friends, Quakers, or oatmeal people, as my friends sometimes joked. Since then, I have grown into their beliefs, finding pieces of myself along the way. We are people of peace and simplicity, and a society that does not believe in violence. Yes, it is true that I have not always held these beliefs my entire life, and though I may still be searching for myself, I do know that I agree with what Quakers stand for. It was not until I found this faith I was able to put a name on my beliefs.
I hope that this letter can prove witness to my convictions against war. Primarily, I do not feel that any person has the right to take the life of another under any circumstances. All life is precious, and in all people there is an inner beauty. I do not feel that I could take the life of another with the knowledge that I would be depriving the world of that person's potential for good. Though my objections to war are based on morality, they are also based on respect. I trust others to treat me in the manner I want to be treated, with respect and with tolerance. I strive to treat others in an equally respectful manner, if it were asked of me. No, I do not attend a friends meeting with the frequency of some of my fellow friends. However, my beliefs are my own, and I do not harbor them in my heart because they were put there by any religious organization.
I understand that I'm still developing my beliefs and ideas about life, and I recently met before a clearness committee of this meeting to further help me explore my thoughts. This meeting helped me affirm my convictions. This conviction is based upon my moral and ethical training. During my raising, I was taught never to use violence. My parents helped to show me the alternatives by never hitting me or using any violence. There are many times that I did something that another one of my friends would have been hit for, but I was never struck. This only reinforced my morals and ethics involving nonviolence. I sincerely feel that everyone has the right to enjoy his own life without the forceful interference from others. To kill another individual in any situation would be to take away her chance to make her own decisions and take away any chances of future happiness and fulfillment. War kills people. I personally could never fight without violating severely my deeply bound ethics.
I have determined that so far, nearly every war and act of violence has had two sides, each claiming a sacred or noble goal. One of these goals triumphs and brings happiness to its supporters, while the other fails and demoralizes its followers. Regardless of the winner, shattered dreams, ruined families, and angry, violent friends of the fallen lay in the aftermath. The angry and violent friends will start another war, which will shatter more dreams and ruin more families and create more angry friends. Though that continue the process indefinitely, each time claiming another sacred or noble goal and insisting that once this goal is achieved, no more battles need happen. No mortal cause can be sacred enough and sure enough for me to take even one human life. I am not semi-omniscient, not godlike, not able to see into the future, and not led by anyone who is. The only thing I can be absolutely certain of is that when I take a life, I am shattering a dream, punching a hole in a family, and snapping a link in a circle of friends. Therefore I, Samuel Lehman Monk, cannot trust any human's cause, even an end to war and human suffering, enough to take a life or personally participate in war.
I strongly believe that violence is not the answer, and there are many other ways of conflict resolution that does not entail bloodshed. The idea that killing another human being will solve a problem or justify another wrong seems unmoral and against the teachings of God. I believe that all people have that of God in them and are to be treated with that respect and viewed as an equal under the eyes of God. This decision has come from a long process of deep thought and inner seeking to find my true faith respecting this complicated and possibly life-changing choice. I do truly believe through that this decision reflects my personal belief and faith towards an issue I strongly believe in. I will stand strong by my decision and endure all possible consequences that may come from it. But I will know that I'm doing what I believe is right under my faith.
I believe that every person, no matter what they have thought or done in their life, has a purpose in this world. By ending a life, one is taking away someone humanity can and should learn from. I came to these beliefs throughout my life. I have always been peaceful. When I was small, I could not stand to kill anything, even bugs. I became vegetarian at the age of 9 because I could not stand to eat an animal I had seen grazing in a field. I never fought in school or verbally abused other children. Once, when I accidentally hurt my brother, I spent the next hour crying because I felt so bad about it. I have been actively supporting groups that support nonviolence for most of my life. In middle school, I supported people of faith against the death penalty during the fundraiser that takes place at my meeting every Christmas. I had the sad opportunity to confirm how I felt about the death penalty when a close friend was killed in an accident with a drunk driver during high school. While her family initially tried to get the harshest penalties against the driver who killed their daughter, I forgave them and hoped the court would help him redeem himself and become a fruitful part of society.
Ever since I was a week old and passed around my meeting as a baby, I have been part of the Chapel Hill Friends monthly meeting of the Religious Society of Friends. This Quaker community has taught me many valuable lessons and shaped the person that I am today. One of the core beliefs of the Quaker community is that of nonviolence, and I have continuously learned about this belief throughout my upbringing. I practiced nonviolence when I was a child by not playing with toy weapons, with violent video games. As I grew older, I learned more and understood more about the Quaker core belief of nonviolence and practiced it in more sophisticated ways. I started to attend anti-war rallies in Fayetteville and helped support Quaker House with service trips there. Now my religious belief has become a deep core moral belief that I believe I will hold on to forever. My core belief in nonviolence is so strong that I have begun to nurture younger members of the nonviolent communities I am in. I believe I have started to become a role model for other young friends who are going through the same process I did of forming their identities and figuring out exactly what they believe. My belief in nonviolence is such a part of me and so strong that I could not in good conscience take part in any war for any entity at any point in my life.